G'day viewers, Sep here. I've just received a gift and I was pretty surprised, and we're going to do an unboxing. What it is, it's on the ground here. It's a sliding cross-cut miter saw. So let's get it out of the box and see what it looks like. We've also got the stand. We're going to get that out of the box too. Righto, let's have a look. Probably have to read the instructions, I figure. Okay, so that's that anyway. Looks pretty good. I'll no doubt have to open that up in a minute. Here it is here. I've read the instructions. So now it all works. There's the instruction manual. HM216 is the model. Sheppach, if that's how you say it. It's a 2000 watt motor. It can cut at 90 degree angle, 340mm wide by 65mm deep. And if you want to cut it 45 degrees, it'll be 240mm wide by 65mm deep, which is pretty good because it is a sliding saw. That's how it works. 2000 watt motor, 3-year warranty. So it has got a few adjustments on it and a bit of safety devices. We might start over the other side. I can show you how it's set up. Now, we've got a mechanism here that locks your piece of wood in position, so it's nice and tight and doesn't move. A couple other things that you can do with this saw. So this lock can go on the other side of the saw as well. It doesn't have to be on this side. So you can just take that out and move it around. There's a locking mechanism down here for this slide out. So each side you can slide these out to give you a bit more width for your timber. You've also got a locking mechanism to stop the sliding motion, and also when you want to lock this motor down. So the way you do that is, there's your locking pin there. That's to lock your motor down. And so if you want to move it around, and your sliding lock will be here. You just do that one down and that stops it all from moving. So I'll just unlock that, bring that back here, unlock that again, and it'll come up. Now it also has a swivel here, so you can actually move it to 0 degrees. So you can lift this up, there's a mechanism under the handle, you lift it up and you can just move that around. So if you want to go 45, stop it there, then your timber will be cut off at a 45. So I'll just put that back to 0. You lock it in with your handle there, so you catch underneath and your handle's there. So that's how that works. Now the other thing this also has is a laser light. I'll show you how that works. I'll just turn the power on for this. I've just put a couple of lines on this bit of timber just so we can see the laser light and how it lines up. And those lines have been done with a set square. So just at the top here, you can just see there's a little button there, so you just press that down and that becomes your laser light there. It's pretty accurate. If you have a look at your piece of wood, I said those lines have been made with a set square. So you just bring your laser light, normally you wouldn't need to put those lines across, you just measure it off where you want it. Put your light there if you want to use your light, and then away you go. You cut it down. Now I'll just turn that laser light off. So the other thing is it has got a safety mechanism up the top here. So the power's on at the moment, so you've got to push that, so you can just push it down with your handle, to bring it down for a cut. So for example, you're going to cut that piece of wood, bring it back here to cut it, and you slide it forward like that. I won't cut it in the shed here, but just to give you an idea how it works. So you've got your hand, then you've got a safety mechanism here. There's one on either side, on that side as well as this side, so you have to need to press one in, So you press that in, and above there's a handle that actually starts the saw up. So to show you, in and fire it up. You can also make an adjustment down here, so that turns the whole saw across that way or back to 0. So you can put this actual blade on an angle this way as well, whichever way you want to go. And that's just an adjustment there to do that. You just loosen that off and just move it around and put it where you want. So that's pretty much it. That's the saw. It looks really good. Let's open up the stand that comes with. We're going to assemble the stand. A couple of things we're going to do first. We're going to just press these buttons in and the legs will come up. Same on this end. And the next part, we have to put it on the ground. It actually has a sign on it here, maximum working length. Gives you a mark so you can't pull them out past that, so that's got to come the up position. So I'll go in a bit further for the video so you can see it. These are offset, so they line up straight. Locking screws in place. That's that one, and there's one for this side here too. That actually has a maximum height as well. I'll just show you put these on, but I'll have to measure these to fit the saw base. So they just go in like that, and like that. So it depends on how wide the saw base is, because that has 4 bolts to hold that onto this frame here. That'll be the next part of the video. Is the saw will come over to here. We'll just line this up to the right width, and then the 4 bolts will go through 2 and 2, and then the saw sits on top of that. So that's the next part. So what I've done is I've measured the width of the saw base, and I've lined it up on these 2 mounts. So when I bring the saw over, I know that when I put it on top of this frame, I know the bolt hole's got to line straight up. Otherwise it'd be too heavy to put it over here and try and jiggle this around. So measure your bolt hole width on your saw, then line this up according to the width, and we should be able to just plonk it straight on and put the bolts in. So I'll do that now. That's perfect. Just putting the bolts in to hold this down to the frame. I've put in the 3 bolts already. I'll just show you the last one. They're square cut at the bottom, so you don't have to hold them. It locks into the frame underneath there. So you just poke this in underneath. Straight up, there's a flat washer, then a spring washer, and then the nut. Just spin this down. Holding that with the finger for a minute. Oh no, that's taken up. Let's give it a bit of a nip up. The spanner. That's holding down there firm, so it's locking into the frame down there underneath. So we don't have to go overboard. And that's now locking the table to this frame here. Now, if you want to pull this whole frame off this thing. If you're going to store it off the legs, you just got to make sure everything's locked in position. I'll just put that to the back there so I can lean over it. Now I haven't done this before, so I'm not sure how this will work because it is quite heavy. But all it is there's just two handles underneath. You just clip them up and then you can take it off. So it's pretty simple. So to put it back, there's the handle clips underneath there. So you just put it back on like so, back that way. And then you've got to pull the handle clips up. You know, you've got to be pretty strong to be able to move this. Two people do it easy. So just lock it back in, like so. It's ready to go again. So that's how it works. That's the slide. That looks pretty sturdy. Now you've got these feet on level ground. The power cord looks like it's going to stay out the way and not get caught up. Got a pretty good action. And of course you can move the table around to whatever angle you want, 45 or whatever. Lock it in. And these will adjust up and down, so you can put a longer piece of wood. You can, and you can move this out to its maximum working level, which is the mark there. So we've got some longer timbers in here. You can put them out and put them in on the top of these rollers. Yeah, so that's it. Any questions? Hit me up for the questions if you got any. It's pretty straightforward. Looks pretty easy. Everything's all set up. It's ready to cut. The next exercise I'll do will be cutting. I'm going to make a bike rack for the grandkids. I'll be using this power saw to cut the timbers, so that'll give it a good test. And we'll see how we go. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Take it easy and see you on the next one.